As meteoroids gently pelt the outside of my ship, I find myself thinking about the various individuals I have come across during my travels through the quadrant. During my younger days in Starfleet Academy, I used to believe that I was the only person that felt so alone. Experience has taught me that loneliness is a common feeling among men. My line of work frequently has me interacting with some of the most distressed individuals. After all, this time doing this work, I still find myself surprised by how much of a positive impact one phone call or home visit can make. I try my best to make each of the cats I come across feel heard and cared for, even if our time together is short. Still, working in the mental health field can be emotionally taxing. I sometimes board my ship feeling absolutely drained and powerless to the structural issues that cause so much misery to those I serve. The underclass and those who work with them rarely have their voices heard. Sometimes it feels like even the advocates are only talking among themselves, as those with real power in the Federation remain disconnected from the realities on the ground. Some days I feel like screaming, but then I remember that the vacuum of space doesn't transmit sound. Aside from that, I've continued to give Admiral Bill a chance. Still feel quite ambivalent about after all this time due to a number of but try to remember all the positive he brings, and ultimately it more or less balances out. Life aboard the USS Zamora isn't the easiest, so I try to be mindful of that when judging him. Uncertainty also remains a theme when spiritual belief. When it comes to discerning spiritual things, I feel like it's really tricky. Something happens that seems related. It can feel like it is the universe or God or whatever trying to talk, yet the skeptic in me, if I'm just a reference. In psychology, ideas of reference are false beliefs that random or irrelevant occurrences in the world directly relate. So I used to believe that everything was random and that nothing related to me, but a high number of coincidences seem to have occurred in close proximity in time to where it is difficult to ignore the correlation. Nonetheless, any scientist would be quick to point out that correlation is not causation, that an experiment must be independently repeatable and governed by laws of science. It can be even harder to believe in anything outside of science because many religious folk seem delusional, uneducated, and many times hypocritical. It almost feels like my perception is gaslighting itself. I get more than a little annoyed that the spiritual world isn't objectively explicit, not to mention all the rather contradictory beliefs others have. If there is a modus operandi of the universe, why does it utilize so many different conflicting methodologies? It is easy for me to remember why I didn't believe in any religion for the majority of my life. Still, hard for me to disbelieve my own experiences and theories. Part of why I spent so much time delving into science, history, sociology, psychology, philosophy, world events, media, and religious events is to gather all the evidence together and I evaluate it for myself. I think I trust myself. Maybe it's a fool's errand trying to undertake a venture or assume anything can be learned via this crowdsourcing. Yet each person has their own unique view of the world. No one person is or can be fully objective, even when evaluating something objectively. Two people can taste the same food or watch the same show and come away with completely different experiences. There can be a consensus, but sometimes even the consensus can be wrong. Sometimes everyone thinks a certain hollow novel is really good, but you watch it and it just doesn't register with you. As I noted several times in the past, this entire journey has made me feel like I'm simultaneously fine losing myself. I can see so many different perspectives and it has created some internal dissonance and disharmony. At the same time, I feel a much more profound sense of connectedness with others. Everyone in some way not only has their own view, but is living in an objectively different. Part of my mission is to explore those varied worlds and bring help to those that ask for it. Along the way, I hope to share my world with anyone that I don't know my final destination, but the journey has been fun. Thank you for joining me this episode.